This is Scott Kokenauer from Coffeeprops, and today we are with Dean, a.k.a. Espresso Patronus. Did I get that right, Dean?
You did. That was perfect.
Because I always think it's another name, and then I have to type it in, and then Espresso Patronus.
Yeah.
Dean, thanks for taking time to share with us a little bit about your story, and so. Why don't you start off by sharing with us how you came into the whole coffee industry? What's your story?
Yeah. So back in 2007, 2008, when the economy crashed, I grew up and I was living at the time in Tampa, Florida. The economy hit real hard in that area and basically decimated all business. I was working with my father at the time. He's a master electrician. And at that point, he didn't even have enough business to go ahead and sustain me being on board. I was working with him for about a year and a half, and it kind of broke his heart, but I was young, 19, 20, and I wanted to actually do something else. So it was a perfect segue and transition for me. And I thought about going ahead and applying to Starbucks because I wanted to get paid to talk to people. So that was actually my introduction into coffee, and I worked at Starbucks. Yeah, I know. I worked at Starbucks for a solid year and a half, and fell in love with cafe culture and wanting to explore more. I got married in that time period and ended up moving up to Kansas City, where I currently live. My wife's family lives up here, and went ahead and decided I wanted to try something new, and she was missing her family at the time. So after I felt like I learned everything I could from Starbucks, I started looking around and seeing if I could find out anything new and exciting. And that led to a few specialty coffee experiences here in Kansas City. One was my actual first, which was at Benetti's Coffee in Raytown. And I spent probably 4 hours talking to the barista, and did not expect that whatsoever. It was like a rabbit hole. And that's kind of how I explain my history and my story in coffee. It just feels like this giant rabbit hole where I ask one question or I have this one experience, and it just completely leads me down to another path. And so I've been a barista, a trainer. I've done roasting, quality control, roasting coffee sales, and currently I'm doing green coffee sales with Ally Coffee.
Okay, yeah, so let's talk about that for a moment. You just got back from what country?
Brazil.
Brazil, okay.
Yeah.
Can you share a couple of highlights about that trip? Anything that you discovered that you didn't know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It has been 12 years since I've been to Brazil. Originally, I didn't go because of coffee, and so this was my first time visiting coffee farms in Brazil. Our company Ally was lucky enough to be the origin trip sponsor for all the U.S. coffee championships, as well as the World Barista Champion and the World Brewers Cup Champion. And so we had, it was amazing. We had the top two in each category in the U.S. for barista, roasters, cup tasters, and brewers, along with the World Brewers Cup Champion, the World Barista Champion. And we got to see what Brazil had to offer. And Brazil is, I think, in my opinion, the future of specialty coffee. And what I mean by that is the cup profile, as well as the ingenuity, the sustainability practices done at the farm level, but also how it's being enforced by the Brazilian government is unlike anything that I had seen in specialty coffee so far. And I think we were just really impressed to see how coffee, I mean, we were on farms that were really, really large. So it was the first time that I had the chance to see mechanical processing. You know, in the past, I thought mechanical processing was a poor technique or mechanical picking, was a poorer technique in harvesting coffee. And what we learned was that not only does it save money for the producer and the cost of production, but the coffee that doesn't necessarily meet cup quality could be sorted out at the dry mill later. And so cup quality could still be sustained. And that was something that I hadn't thought about or been exposed to before.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, did anything reinforce what you already knew about coffee?
Yeah, I would say number one, passion is what drives people to coffee, and passion is what sustains people in coffee. Not only from the coffee champions that were with us, but also the producers themselves. What was very unique for Brazil in particular, and the producers that we met with, I could think of three. They had grown up on farms, not necessarily coffee, but farm life in Brazil, had left it, joined some other profession, and then ended up coming back. So one producer happened to be a lawyer. Previously, he was a lawyer. He went back to coffee. We met with a doctor, went back to coffee, and then a rocket scientist and went back to coffee.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm dead serious. And, I would say passion is what really brought them back. Passion for coffee, passion for farm life, passion for the people within coffee. And that seemed to really drive and sustain what has been Brazilian coffee. And I was really excited to see the cup quality that is coming out of Brazil. It's really been impressive. We tasted lots that, were 84 to 85 points, but also some really unique profiles ranging from 87 to 89 points, which is, for the most part, kind of unheard of at this point in Brazil.
Yeah, who's doing the rating of those points? What's for the person who's listening and has no idea what points are all about? Where's that coming from?
That is coming primarily from Q graders themselves. I myself am a Q grader, and then also that would come from coffee roasters, farmers themselves, and exporting companies and importing companies.
Okay, and by Q grader, you're referring to quality grader?
That is correct.
Is that okay? All right. Well, so tell us about Ally Coffee. How do they fit into the entire industry process? Like, they don't have a store, right?
No. So we are the importing leg for a larger group known as Monsanto Tavares, or Monsanto Tavares, excuse me. And so we do the importing and sales for the U.S. as well as Europe currently. And so we work closely with producers, and we also have the opportunity to work closely with roasters. And we help bridge the gap in order for the two to work together. Okay.
Well, before I let you go, all right, we can find you on Instagram, espresso_Patronus, and we can find Ally Coffee on Instagram as Ally Coffee, right?
That is correct.
That's ALLY Coffee. And they also have a website, I'm assuming, allycoffee.com, right?
Yep, we just launched a new website.
Okay, great. Anywhere else that you can be found that you want to share?
I'm not going to lie, I really love Instagram. I love the community. And so that's really where I love to stick towards.
All right. Good for you. And before we go, what is your all-time favorite coffee drink?
Oh man, why did you do that to me? I'm literally, I'm obsessed with one shop in particular, and that is where we went, Second Best Coffee. Their coffee mocktails are absolutely amazing, and they're always changing, and it's just always something exciting.
Okay. That's a good, safe answer, I suppose. But from personal experience, I can concur. There's some amazing signature drinks coming out of Second Best Coffee. In fact, you and I did a video, and I put it on this YouTube playlist. I think it's one of the first videos on the playlist. So if you're listening to this, and you want to see that, it's a little bit longer video, but there's some amazing drinks that those guys are putting out.
I'm thinking of, in particular, the carrot cake drink. It was like literally drinking carrot cake. It was fantastic.
That's what came to my mind. I agree. Even with the icing dripping over the side of the cup.
Oh, it's so good.
Well, thanks for taking the time, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it.